What up, folks? How you guys doing? This is a reaction video to Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring with Max Kellerman, Tim Bradley, Andre Berto, and they're just having a discussion on what went well and what didn't go well with Xander Zayas and Jaron Boots Ennis. And one of the main points that they hit on was Boots having a lot of natural talent but not skill, and I tend to disagree with that. But let's go. Let's get it started.
Boxing's official show of record. I'm your host, Max Kellerman, and joining me to my right, a former two-time welterweight belt holder, Andre Berto.
Yes, sir.
Andre?
What's up, baby?
To my left, a man who should have given up on the New York Mets. How old are you, Mike?
40.
40 years ago, Ring Magazine's senior insider, Mike Coppinger. Stuck with that team 40 years too long.
Hey,
it's never too late.
Still a little bit of season to go. All right.
And to Mike's left, making his debut on the show, another former welterweight belt holder, was a terror at junior welter too.
He's killing me with this welterweight belt holding business. He to me, I think that's very disrespectful. Keep on saying welterweight belt holders. Call these men what they were. They were champions. They earned the belt. They fought for the belts. They made it to the top. Max Kellerman, you got to do better, man. What if they decided not to call him a journalist or whatever he considered himself and gave him a downgraded name?
Desert Storm, Tim Bradley Jr.
Oh, baby.
Big
Great to see you,
Hey,
Tim.
glad to be here, man. Thanks for the invite.
That's it, getting the band back together. And coming up on today's show, Father of the Year candidate Bill Haney joins us. And then joining us a bit later, remember this, kids. Boxing is your favorite athlete's favorite sport. Washington Commanders starting safety and boxing superfan Nick Cross joins us in studio. But right now it's time for the lead hook. We start at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Number 3 ranked junior middleweight belt holder Xander Zayas versus number 5 ranked Jaron Boots.
I'm not gonna keep pausing. Okay, I'm gonna pause throughout the video just so it's not, copywriting issues. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Max is becoming real disrespectful, and it's like he's making a point to say this whole belt holder thing. And before we get into the video, I just want to get this off my chest. They got to give Boots credit for this win. Enough, it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If Boots would have lost this fight, they would have said he wasn't nothing. If he would have won this fight, I mean, he did win this fight pretty much in dominating fashion outside of 30, 40 seconds in the third round. And now all of a sudden, Xander Zayas is washed up. Pick your battles, man. Which one is it gonna be? Like, was he washed up or was he good?
Ennis in the first major test for both fighters, certainly for Zayas. Boots floored Zayas 3 times, but took some big shots himself in that third round. It was a candidate for round of the year, really. Boots eventually.
Let me rewind this because I want y'all to see something. Just on this little highlight.
I've ranked Jaron Boots Ennis in the first major test for both fighters, certainly for Zayas. Boots floored Zayas 3 times, but took some big shots himself in that third round. It was a candidate for round of the year.
That right hook that y'all just saw, that was the right hook that Boots was landing throughout the fight. When I broke down the fight initially, before the fight happened, I realized Xander had a irresponsible jab to where Boots, I felt like he would throw his jab and have lull moments. Like he would throw his jab, keep his head on line, and stand right in front of his opponents in previous fights. One of the young men, he took the belt from Garcia when Xander Zayas was jabbing. He was standing in front of him. The dude would be able to react. And the dude didn't have nowhere near the amount of speed or explosiveness as Jaron Boots in it. So before the fight, I was saying Boots was going to counter off of that jab. But Boots was so much more superior than Zayas as far as natural gifted ability that he was actually throwing hooks from his southpaw stance, pretty much with his lead hand against Zayas' lead hand. He was throwing hooks on the side where Zayas would actually throw a jab. And he was so comfortable that in doing so that Zayas timed him um, and blinded him with a jab, straight right. And everybody knows when you throw a straight right, it's gonna make connection faster than a hook. Straight punches from A to B are always faster than punches that's looping.
Really, Boots eventually stopped Xander in the 7th round. Tim, I thought that Boots looked like a sensational offensive fighter. I already thought he was a sensational offensive fighter. What bothered me in this fight, though, was when Xander just kind of got basic in the 3rd round. Started aiming center mass, the jab at his chest.
Xander, it wasn't that Xander got basic, man. I think Xander had a plan to box. But when Boots came out, Boots established dominance with his jab. I want to say Boots came out in the 1st round through like 4, 5, 6 jabs in a row with precision, speed, you know what I'm saying? And he was landing cleanly. And I think Zayas realized where he thought Boots wasn't going to be able to move, he was like, this kid can move. And he's actually touching me. So Zaya quickly abandoned his original plan, probably was to box. And then he was like, my best outcome is to use my size and try to wear on him. Well, anywhere it go, he was fighting an uphill battle.
Just did some basic things. Suddenly, Boots is getting his head flown. What did you think of Boots' performance?
I thought the performance was sensational. You know what I mean? I thought it was a special performance. He did everything he said he was going to do. Right? Everything through the lead up, he said, I'm going to do, there's nothing that you can do that I can't do. I can do everything better than you.
Right.
But as I'm watching it, like the first 5 seconds, when Boots came out and landed that jab, the first jab, I was just like, dang, he's already established his range. He's already got his timing down. I was like, it's going to be a short night for Xander Zayas. And as the course of the fight, what you mentioned, the 3rd round, it's just boxing, baby. You know, he hurt him in the 1st round.
Yeah.
He was going for the kill. Yeah, he squares himself up. And I told you guys about the flaws that he has. Yeah, they're technical flaws. However, man, he bit.
I'm going to give a little pushback, Tim. I don't believe... See, that's the narrative. The narrative is that Boots is so talented that he's not that skillful because his talent is carrying him. I disagree. I think Boots is talented naturally, and I think he's skillful. I think Boozy actually has his technique up to par. So I don't know where this narrative is coming from, where they're saying he's naturally talented, but his skills may not be up to par. Boots' problem is not his skills. Boots he can throw every punch. When I think of naturally talented, I think of explosiveness. That's God-given. Activation speed. That's God-given. And if you don't know what activation speed is, people, it's the speed from when you're not throwing a punch to where you're throwing a punch. So they got these little machines like when a button lights up, you throw the punch and try to press the button, right? That's an activation. That means I'm sitting still and then I'm throwing. Activation speed is different from hand speed. Hand speed is how fast you can throw your punches in rapid succession. To give you an example, I think Manny Pacquiao has extreme hand speed, but I think Floyd Mayweather have extreme activation speed. And I think that's where we go with when we're talking about natural talent. For his skills is stuff that's learned. How to take angles, how to cut off the ring, you know what I'm saying? How to move backwards, boxing, how to turn a corner, your shot selection. These are skills that Boots have. Boots' issue is patience. That's what Boots' issue is.
Down, he fought back, and he got him up out of there. He broke him down and got him up out of there.
He sure did. And heading into the fight, although I don't know that Boots has proven, he certainly hasn't fought the guys that Benavidez fought, but it reminded me of Benavidez going into Zurdo Ramirez fight, which was kind of billed as a big fight. But really, did anyone think Zurdo Ramirez was going to beat Benavidez? No one thought so, because Benavidez is better in every department. Same here. Zayas is a nice young fighter.
I agree.
Boots does do everything better than Zayas, right? I don't know that it was quite as big a fight as people were making it out to be, because going in, you figured it to be one-sided, and it was. And I think maybe part of the reason people are having a big reaction to it is because Xander outperformed expectations in that third.
Xander didn't outperform expectations. Xander took what was given to him, and that was Boots making a mistake, and it wasn't from lack of skill. It wasn't because he was too talented. It was because Boots was stepping on the gas, i.e. Roy Jones used to do the same thing. But there's a difference between Roy Jones and Boots. Roy Jones used to do things incorrectly, but he was so talented and so naturally talented and gifted that he can get away with doing those things wrong. Roy Jones would, he used to like throw triple hooks. Like he used to lunge off balance, and you don't see Boots really doing that type of stuff. You don't see Boots like lunging off balance. He's always has his base. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying Boots was better than Roy Jones. What I'm saying is they're the same in the sense of if they know they're superior to you, they're gonna dominate you. The patience is out the window. I'm about to step on you right now. Like, you can't do nothing to me, so I'm about to just dominate you. I'm going to take risks because I know I'm that much more superior than you. The difference is Roy Jones used to do a lot of things the wrong way, but he was so physically gifted that he can do it. Boots is just impatient. So Boots is like, I'm going to walk you down. I'm going to roll your shots. I'm going to land my big shots. I could take your power. You can't take mine. I'm faster than you. I have better footwork than you. So I'm about to step on the gas right now. And that causes you sometimes to load up on your shots. And when you load up on your shots, you kind of sort of telegraph them. And that's how you end up getting caught.
Round, Mike?
Yeah, I agree with you, Max. You know, this is not the final boss for Boots Ennis, right? So there's going to be much bigger fights for him in the future. And I know Xander is the Puerto Rican, and to pull Max, you know who Boots reminds me of? Tito Trinidad. And I'm not saying that Boots is as good as Tito Trinidad yet, but the way he reminds me of Tito is
how?
I don't know. He's only worried about his offense. He's vulnerable. He's there to be hit. He might be chinny. We don't know yet, but he's going to be a sensational offensive fighter, like you guys said, and he is only worried about that. He's fantastic from the pocket. He's there to be hit.
Yeah, by the way,
it's not that he only worries about his offense, man. Like, people missing the mark. He's not just worrying about his offense. When he got caught, I need people to understand this. When he got caught, his legs wasn't under him. Yet he still was able to roll and slip punches. If any of you guys has ever been in a fight or played football and you got your head rattled, right? You got rocked. You know, it's almost like, for the people who's never been in a fight, spin around in a circle 30 times, right? You get kind of dizzy. The world is moving. Or if you got drunk. So it's not that bad, but you get your equilibrium is off. Boots is so... Now, this is where he's physically gifted. He's... And also in shape. The dude is super disciplined. You could tell he's super disciplined because most people who legs was in jeopardized like his legs, they wouldn't have been able to stand. I literally watched Jaron Boots Ennis while he was rocked and his legs was shot, slip 4-punch combos. Nope. Like, he literally was hands down slipping the shots. That lets me know he wasn't fighting off an instinct. His legs were shot because he caught a good shot. Good thing he was in good enough shape for his legs to withstand that shot he took. But his mind was always clear. And after the fight, that's why Boots said, I wasn't hurt. I don't think Boots realized how hurt he was. I think once he took that shot, I don't think he realized how he looked and how his legs was kind of going Bambi-ish on him. I don't think he realized that. But when he go back and watch the fight, he's going to notice it and he's going to clean that up. The thing, And I know he's going to clean it up because he did it in the 4th round. He made an adjustment. But to get back to what I was initially saying, he was slipping shots with those type of legs, with his legs gone. He cares about his defense. He's just careless at times when he feel he could take advantage of you.
Hey, by the way, before we clown Mike about Trinidad, he's not saying that they're similar fighters. He's saying in this respect, the mentality is, as talented as I am, I'm going to apply that all on offense.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was saying earlier today, when we were speaking. Is it more talent or is he really skilled?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, of course, as we see him, he has everything on the front end, a lot of flash, a lot of flair. But then again, if you so you're looking at me tell. Go ahead. But then again, if you see him step into a ring with the Ortiz, we may see a completely different guy, especially if he gets.
You're going to see a completely different Jaron Boots Ennis when he step in the ring with an Ortiz. Like, styles make fights. And I'm tired of them. I'm honestly, I see where this is going. They about to start making it seem as though that there's a known level between Ortiz and Xander Zayas, when before the fight, I haven't heard nobody really saying there was a known level. People favored Ortiz over Xander Zayas, but I heard a lot of people saying Xander Zayas is a better boxer. Ortiz has a heavier punch. So who's to say Ortiz is going to catch Boots with that same type of shot? But what we do know is Boots have the propensity to catch Ortiz with those type of shots. You know what I'm saying? And Boots do get hit when he take chances. But I think he's going to learn from this fight and say, I'm at a certain level where I can't take the same risk that I used to take.
Man, he gonna cook Ortiz. Oh, he gonna cook Ortiz just like he just got done cooking Zayas. Look, man.
But that was expected, though.
Listen to me.
You talk about Zayas, a guy that isn't known for his punching power at all. That was
or his speed, or really his skills. He checks boxes at a decent level, but not at an elite level.
But the thing is that he didn't feel the pop. You got to understand that about Boots. Boots is willing to take yours to get his, and it's a trap. Right? A lot of his flows, but I'm just telling you that I know it's not always a good thing, but it works for him. And I think that he fights off of feeling. That's what it is. It's feeling. You understand that, right?
But another thing that I didn't like as well, once he got touched, he didn't switch his game up at all. He just stood right in the pocket and did what
Philly fighters do. He didn't need to in the end, though, Andre.
He did what Philly fighters do. Stay in the pocket and just bang it out. He can get...
Wrong again. Andre Berto, you disappoint me, brother. He did not just stand in the pocket and bang it out. He was not fighting off of instinct. When you fighting off of instinct, you have a propensity to throw the same type of shots over and over again. You just rattling off punches consistently over and over and over again when you fighting off instincts. He wasn't fighting off instincts. He was throwing shots selectively from the inside. His legs weren't under him, so he had to adjust in that sense of not moving around the ring as much. So if your legs are not under you, you're going to fight at a close range and let your shots go at a close range, so you don't have to move and exert yourself because you don't have any legs. I think the reason why Berto feel that way is because Berto, when he would get in trouble in his past, he would fight off of instincts. And if you don't believe me, pull up Berto versus Victor Ortiz, Andre Berto. Game plan went out the window. He just was winging shots.
big trouble fighting a guy like Ortiz.
But you got too much Philly in him, Tim.
Too much Philly in him, Tim. I'm telling you.
Listen to me. He fights off of feeling, man. What I'm talking about. So if he don't feel you got any punch, guess what? He's willing to stand there and exchange with you. He's standing.
He literally got hurt.
That's fine.
He got hurt.
That's fine.
So he knew that he had.
But did you see? But did you see the reaction that he made?
Yes.
He stuck. He tied him up. He bought himself some time, and then what did he do? He came back and blitzed him with combinations.
Yes, but he can't do that with everybody.
He won't do that with everybody.
I don't know. That might be him because, like I said, he's a Philly fighter. He loves to fight, and that's.
But did you see that? No, but did you see that in the Stanionis fight? No, he didn't. He started using movement early on, using his jab. Pot shot from the outside.
What about what Tim is saying about fighting off of feel? Some fighters, and by the way, a lot of times those are fan favorites. Fight off of feel.
Yeah, I get it.
Manny
but
Pacquiao.
I don't believe that he fought off of feel. I think that he fought off of instinct.
It's both.
I feel like
is there a difference?
Once again, when you're fighting off of instincts, you're not thinking. Your body takes over. You're not going to have a varied shot selection. It's rare. When you fighting off of instincts, you bite down on your mouthpiece and you throwing. You letting them hands go. Almost hoping in a prayer. The shot selection was too sharp. How you know he wasn't fighting off of instinct? He baited. When he caught Xander Zayas with that uppercut, he caught Xander Zayas with that uppercut doing the same thing that got him caught with that jab straight right. The only difference is he leaned to the side and threw the uppercut when Xander Zayas was trying to throw the same straight right that hurt him initially. Xander Zayas threw that same shot to the body after a combination. He threw the jab, then he threw the jab, and then he threw the right hand, and then when he was about to throw his jab, Boots came underneath it with an uppercut. Pure shot selection. And I think that was definitely after he had got shook. So it wasn't off of instinct, brother. Like he knew exactly what he was doing. His head was clear. His legs just went under him.
Just on straight instinct of me getting hit, me getting hurt. Let me just sit down and bite down. I think that he's going to be able to do that. I really believe.
In other words, the way he feels is because he's Philly. Is when I get hit, I'm getting back. I'm getting my back.
Well, either way, but he's filling the fight out. So like it's like. For instance, if Xander was coming on strong, and he probably just like, let me try to box a little bit. Like a lot of people's talking about, he doesn't have a game plan. Well, when you got everything at your disposal and you got all the talent in the world and you can do it from both sides, you can pick and choose.
All right, Tim, I got
he can pick and choose when he want to step on the gas, when he doesn't want to step on the gas. Like, bro, he made that. But Xander got his behind, but smashed.
That's what we expected, though.
It was a one-sided fight, like Tim said. And it doesn't matter whether we expected it or not. At the end of the day, Xander was a 2-belt champion, man. He was at the top of that division, which means no matter who was in the division at that time, he was the top dog outside of him and Fundora. You might as well say him, Fundora, and Ortiz were the top dogs. Ortiz going through litigations, so him and Fundora had the belts. And Boots smashed him. I'm going to be honest with you. That fight was prolonged due to Boots getting caught in the third round. If Boots hadn't got caught in the third round, that fight would have ended probably in the fourth or fifth round. Boots was tagging him at will before then. Xander balanced the scales of that fight when he caught Boots with that straight right hand. Boots' shot selection was better than Xander. Like, he was just physically, mentally more gifted than Xander Zayas. We all know Xander took this fight early, but Xander is a boxer who can set traps. I said before when I was breaking down a fight initially, I was like, people saying Xander got good feet. He does move well, but he doesn't move well in the sense of setting up his offense. Xander, when he moves well, he have good lateral movement to move and have good ring generalship, moving around the ring, kind of getting you to follow him. Before it's like turning the corners and stuff like that, I didn't really see that. I didn't really see him like using his movement to set up his offense. I seen his movement when I was breaking him down and watching his fights. I seen his movement to govern space, to make sure you at a range from me. You know what I'm saying? I never seen him like throwing a combination, slipping off to the side, using his movement in that way. But I don't know why Berto even said, but we expected him to win, so it's not special. That's subjective, bro. Like at the end of the day, a lot of people were saying that Xander was going to win this fight. Most people were saying that Boots was going to win. The odds was in Boots' favor. However, Xander was a live dog, man. He was outskilled, definitely. He was out talented and outskilled. But when Boots got careless because of being impatient, Xander made him pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't discredit that guy, because if you discredit him, you might as well just discredit Boots in general. And we all know Boots is talented.
But we did not expect him to hurt him in the first round like he did.
That's true.
Right. Hold on, Tim. Here's the thing. You take a guy like Terrence Crawford, who has all the skills in the world, but applies them aggressively. Occasionally, he's going to be hit, right? Even take defensive masters, all-time defense, Pernell Whitaker or Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? They're going to get clipped sometime. Everyone gets clipped is boxing.
Right.
But what you don't normally see at this level is guys getting hit with 2 and 3 pieces in a fight.
Yeah, when your legs gone and you can't use them and you got to stand in the pocket and use your ring IQ and your mindset, yeah, you're going to get hit with shots. But the thing is, Max act like Boots wasn't rolling no shots. Like, he was getting hit clean with a couple of shots, but a lot of those shots, he wasn't taking a full brunt of them. When your legs is gone, if the shots that Max is counting as the 4-punch combos and 3-punch combos, with Boots' legs the way they was, if he was taking flush 4-punch combos, he'd have been out of there. He was rolling a lot of those shots, slipping a lot of those shots. Xander was getting hit clean. Another thing people not taking into account, Xander probably walked into this fight 180, 181, something like that, 182. Boots more than likely walked in that fight as 168. Weighed in at 153, probably gained like 14, 15 pounds, came in at 168 with water weight. Xander ballooned up, bro. He went up to probably about 180. That's how I think when he threw that straight right punch, that straight right that connected on Boots' chin, I think it hurt him because of the weight he had behind it. I really do. That's what I think. I think it stunned Boots more than anything. Because like when he hit Boots, the force of the punch actually made Boots step backwards. That's how, and it was a short right. It was a short, direct right. And it made Boots take a step back. And then he came back forward. I think the shot more shocked Boots than it shocked Boots physically. But I think his mind was still there. But he was like, I got to make this adjustment and make this an inside fight. He initially clinched. And then he was like, my legs ain't under me. I'm going to have to roll these shots. So it wasn't like he was just getting hit with no clean 4-punch combos.
Right? If you're getting hit with combinations to the head in the middle of the ring, that's a real defensive flaw, is it not?
Right?
You guys, it is.
Show me the highlights.
You guys complain about every damn thing. Like, seriously, you guys and the game fans. No, for real. No, listen to me.
Wait. No, he's right. Let him talk.
No.
Dre, let the man speak. He's right. We're complaining about everything.
Like everything. Like, oh, he doesn't get hit. Shakur doesn't get hit. Oh, he's boring. Oh, now, if Boots get hit, he's boring? No, he's exciting. He's exactly what boxing needs. That's what Boots is.
I think the reason why.
I don't think they think he's boring. But what they're saying is, if you get, what they're saying is, not you, Tim, but what they're saying is when he gets hit, he's not skilled. But when Shakur don't get hit at all, he's boring. That's what they're saying. A lot of casuals, they don't know what the hell they're looking at. Just like I don't agree with Max when he was saying he was just taking 4-punch combos. No, he wasn't. He was rolling a lot of those shots, bro. He was getting hit with some clean shots, but it wasn't like 4 consistent shots that I seen Boots get hit with clean. Like, nah. Maybe 1 or 2, but not no 4 shots in a row. But he was getting hit on a more consistent basis because he had to adjust. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't instinct. Once again, he adjusted and he was like, I'm going to fight this fight inside. I'm going to slip. I'm going to roll. I'm the faster, cleaner puncher, so I'm going to start tagging him. And if you notice, As the fight went on, he went from inside to mid range, and then he really started teeing off. You know what I'm saying? But it just took him a while for his legs to get back on him. But to me, I don't feel like his legs ever fully recovered. Cause even I think it was the 5th round, like I think Xander pushed him and he kind of like took a step back, not wobbled, but you could tell his legs wasn't as strong as it was before he caught the shot. But his head was always clear. I hate to keep reiterating that, but I think they're missing a mark.
We criticize a guy like Boots like we do.
High expectations.
Because we see he has everything. Yep. And he has, the expectations like this for Boots. Because we see all of the flair.
Let's talk about it, Dre. Pound for pound was used a lot Saturday night. Tim, here's the thing. Sometimes I'll see a fighter and it's like, he might be a really good fighter. He might even be great one day. I don't ever think he's going to be the best pound for pound fighter in the world. I'll see a fighter, and that's how, and come on, for example, and we have Bill Haney on later. Devin Haney's excellent. I don't think Haney will ever be recognized as the best pound for pound fighter in the world, but he's excellent.
What?
I think that about a lot of fighters. But by the way, very few fighters ever reach that. Yeah. I think Canelo reached that height, but I disagreed. I never thought Canelo was the best pound for pound.
Really?
No, because he fought, it went from Floyd Mayweather to Andre Ward to Terrence Crawford. There's just no room, right? Like there's one guy at the top.
I think Devin's best division is 147. I think Devin weight is carrying up his strength. I think he's punching harder at 147 than he ever did at 140 or 135. But that's on a breakdown coming. I was bullish on Keyshawn beating Devin, but Keyshawn gonna have to be careful in that fight in the sense of he ain't gonna be able to just walk Devin down and knock him out. And if he think that's gonna be the case, he might get clipped because Devin is hitting hard. I seen what he did Regis Prograis, my boy, homeboy from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? And I also seen what he did Brian Norman Jr. His shots are heavier, y'all. Since he moved up to 140, his punching power has carried, not just because he didn't really have, I can't even say carried up, it's just increased. I think he was dehydrating himself too much fighting at those lower weight classes. But I just think the businessman is going to, I think he's going to make him fight him. And I think if, not to go out on a tangent, but yeah, like I said, we have a breakdown coming. But this ain't about that. We talking about Boots and Xander.
So what I'm saying about Boots is when you put your eyes on him, given the Philly in him, given the fact that he's either on offense or defense, kind of never both, where he's turning the defense into offense, do you see a guy who will one day be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? Boots can be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
The gifts that he has, and nobody has those gifts. Really?
Mike,
I'm serious.
Mike,
Speed, power, athleticism, come on.
I want to get Mike in here, Dre, and then we'll go to you. Best pound-for-pound fighter in the world
I think it's possible, yes. And what I will say is, while he is getting hit a lot, what stands out to me is this guy has massive balls. He doesn't care about getting hit.
He's getting hit, I ain't going to say by choice, but he's getting hit because he's stepping on the gas against people who he feels is inferior to him at that moment. Boo said it himself. We keep on saying he's taking all these hellacious shots. When have we ever seen him cut? When have we ever seen him with a shiner? When have we ever seen him with a bloody nose? When have we ever seen him with a bloody mouth? I'm for real. Even in the Xander Zayas fight, I don't think Boots had no marks on his face. So, is he really getting hit that much? Or is he rolling shots? He had a lot of Vaseline after that third round. I saw that. But on his face. But I don't think he's really taking the shots that y'all think he's taking like he, no. I don't foresee that. I think he's slipping and rolling a lot of those shots, catching them on the gloves, rolling them, not taking them clean. And yes, he is skillful and talented enough to be the pound for pound best fight out there to dominate, especially if he beats Ortiz and then beats Fundora, who I think Fundora is a cheat code, but I do got Boots beating him.
It's a family show.
Yes, cojones, guts.
You could say guts.
Onions. Whatever you want to say. Onions. Toughness. He has a lot of toughness, and I think it's going to serve him well.
You know, these guys fight for a living, and they never said something like this. You're already...
Hey, I didn't curse.
But is he going to be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world one day?
I mean, when you look at him, he could be. When you look at him,
is he top 10 now?
On the front end, he could.
On the front end, meaning the surface level talent.
Yes, man. Yes.
So you're making a distinction between talent and skill. You're saying, I agree. Boots has the talent to do it.
Yes.
Does he have the skill to do it?
That's what we have to wait and see. And the only way that we're really going to be able to see that, we see him in some really top elite competition.
Fundora, that's what we need to see.
Fundora, the Ortizes, guys like that.
Is he a top 10 pound for pound right now? Top 10?
I don't think so quite.
Prediction. Middle of the video prediction. Fundora is tall and has a lot of length. And now that Fundora using that jab, he can pose a problem to Boots. What Fundora don't have is explosiveness like Boots. Boots is going to be very cautious and mindful after this fight. I promise y'all this. But not cautious in the sense of sitting on his hands. He's just going to be less careless and more patient and let the fight come to him. He even said it after the fight. We've seen Fundora floored. We've seen him drop by a shorter man who's not nowhere near as explosive or have the hand speed, flurry speed of Boots. I think Fundora has the length and the range to pose anybody problems. And once he's a rhythm fighter. Once he gets in a rhythm, he'll start busting you up. Problem is, will Boots let him get started? And my early prediction is that Boots beats Fundora. And then people like Andre Berto is going to go back all the way to the fight when Fundora was stopped and say stuff like, well, he always had chin problems. He would get hurt. The first fight against Tim Tszyu, it was close. Like, you could discredit anybody when you want to. You could look for things to bring down a person's accomplishments if you really, really wanted to. The reality of it is, your eyes not lying to you. Boots he's gifted, man. Not saying he's unstoppable, not saying he can't be beat. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is he's more physically talented, gifted wise, as far as his God-given ability, and he's skilled. And for us to, as a boxing community, or for these analysts who are supposed to be the pros who've boxed before, to say that he's not as skilled, that's taking a shot at Bozy. And what is Boots in the gym doing? Just using his God-given talent? Y'all don't think he's working on his, triangle steps, working in and out of punches, using his timing, shot selection? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, because we talk about pound for pound. That is a group of very elite guys that have, either beat or have been in the ring with other elite guys.
Top 10 pound for pound today.
I say yes.
I would probably also put him 10 maybe.
And let's not forget
at the top, yeah, very top.
At the top, really?
Right now, like 10.
10, right? Meaning the bottom. 10 is the bottom.
Oh, well, you know what the hell I mean.
Listen, wait. In fairness, Tim Bradley went 12 rounds with...
My thing is this, when I say pound for pound is so subjective. But pound for pound to me means everybody was the same size and we using their skills and abilities that they have and if I snap my fingers and we take everybody and make them the same exact size, but they still have their same abilities in comparison to their weight class. So if you say Alexander Usyk, he's nowhere near as fast as Boots, but compared to the heavyweights, Alexander Usyk is faster than most heavyweights. I would say if you compare his speed compared to the heavyweights that he's facing, Alexander Usyk's speed is probably going to be like a 90, right? Whereas Boots at 154 compared to other 154 fighters, I think his speed, his activation speed is a 95. So pound for pound, meaning if they were the same size, him at his best and Boots at his best, if they were the same size, and you say your speed is a 90 because at your best weight your speed was a 90, and at your best weight your speed was a 95, and your power at heavyweight compared to the other heavyweights was like, if we had to put it in a game format, let's say your punching power was, Alexander Usyk punching power was a 92 and Boots punching power was a 96. So you take them and put them at the same size, and you say you got your best attributes for your weight class and you got your best attributes. Now we know Alexander Usyk's power is way stronger than Boots' power because he's a heavier guy. But I'm just talking about in comparison to their peers. If you make everybody the same size, y'all can't tell me there's 10 people that's better than Boots. I'll wait. Inouye punching power is probably like a 98. So I would say pound for pound, Inouye has more punching power than Boots. But I don't think he's as skilled as Boots. You know what I'm saying? So, and this whole video is coming off like I know they're going to say, oh, he's glazing Boots. No, I just recognize talent. I see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? The kid is gifted. Do I see flaws? Of course. But you name a fighter, and I probably, because the closest fighter I think to perfect to me that I've witnessed in my lifetime is Floyd Mayweather Jr. because he can fight you offensively and defensively. And he was so gifted with his eyes that he can avoid a lot of shots. That's what made Floyd great. But as far as Boots Ennis goes, how could you not have him pound for pound? Make everybody the same size. I think he beats a lot of people, in my opinion.
Provodnikov, okay?
Yeah,
so sometimes he says top when he means
yeah, exactly.
I didn't fight Provodnikov. He fought Provodnikov.
Yeah, at the bottom. So I would say probably 10. I think it's a running. See, for me, I got Foster at number 10 right now.
Okay.
And so you winning.
He's more talented than Foster. And Foster's a very good player.
Well, Foster has better defense, though.
Foster's more skillful. Boots is more talented.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I think the issue with Boots is that I think it's.
I'm going to pause it right here, y'all. I just wanted to give y'all a good little breakdown of what I think. This video has went on way too long, 42 minutes. I'm trying to keep them in the future to like 30 minutes. I can't make no promises. But more to come, people. I'm about to start doing reaction videos to a lot of these podcasts that's coming on with people breaking down these fights. This is a lane that I'm about to tap into. I love to study fighters, and I love listening to analysts, and I like to see where I agree and disagree. I also want to hear you guys' thoughts. But till next time, I'mSo504, boxing breakdown, reaction to Inside the Ring magazine and their journalists. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Peace.